What's up? It's your girl Quisha, the ATL Hookah Queen, and I just jumped off the porch with dirty glove bastards. Yeah. Beep, beep,
Got some bands on it, time to switch, I been dodged, go for shit in this matrix, watch me glitch, Yeah, they call me queen, but I...
All right, so we got the one and only Quisha jumping off the porch with us today.
Hey, let's go.
So welcome first off, and how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling like I'm floating on the cloud right now, to be honest. I'm just blessed, grateful to be alive, man. Just really ready to get into it.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you on the porch with us today too. And you know, this is a little different entourage than what we're used to. Yeah. So I need you to go ahead and introduce your people sitting up here with you today.
Okay. Too. So these are my Baddie Baes. A lot of times when people see me with a lot of women, they think that we just some twerkers. They think, you know, that we just an ordinary entourage, but these are my Baddie Baes, AKA my homegirls. This is my sister Shauna, also my hype girl. You probably see her right next to me on the stage every time that I'm performing. She does real estate. So this is, you know, she basically flips houses. She's also an investor. So when you see my Baddie Baes, just know that we got motion. Yeah. Okay, then I got my girl to Diamond. Okay, first of all, she is one of the hardest rappers out of Texas. Y'all be looking out for her. Okay, and she's also a finance manager. So if you need a new whip, pull up, pull up, pull up. Then I got my girl Tisa, aka my lash Baddie Bae. She has her own lash establishment, Just Right Lashes. Y'all can follow her, Just Right Lashes. I am Superstar Shauna. Follow her at Diamond. Then I got my mascot, but not only is it my mascot, this is Kennedy. She creates most of the things that y'all see me in, all of the drip or whatever. Don't ask me how I got in it, but I got in it, baby. So yeah. So yeah, those are these are my Baddie Baes. This is just like probably 5% of us. So,
okay,
yeah.
So there's even more.
Oh, there is a whole flock of us, like, yeah. So anytime I ever shout out, if you rocking with me, you my Baddie Bae. If you're a dude, you're a bad boy. So yeah, Baddie Baes and bad boys. Hey, turn up.
So I know people are going to be watching this right now. They just tuned in. They're like, what's up with the eye? Can you break down your logo and why it's an eye?
Okay, so the eye represents the evil eye. A lot of people have a misconception about that. It's for protection. Just to fade off anything, any negative energy. It's about my frequency. And a lot of times people are looking, judging, assuming certain things, and they're casting out energy on you. So it's really, a lot of people say to turn that energy back to them, but I'm not trying to reciprocate anybody's energy. It's just about protecting me and myself, my brand, my family. So the eye is really for protection. That's what it's for.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. And you're branding it everywhere. Can you show them in the paddle and everything too? There it is.
Get off my strap, folk, before I beat you with it. Hey!
All right. So before you were making music, you were selling life insurance. Is that correct?
No, so that's a great question. So before I was doing music, I was into sales, and me and my sister had a hookah company, ATL Hookahs.
Okay.
So pretty much the life insurance kind of came after the pandemic. I know we probably get into a little bit more of that, but before that, I was deep into sales. I had a few management positions. If you've been in sales, you know how it goes. It's up and down like a roller coaster. Okay. So anybody that's in sales, we already know we just have to have the mindset to win, and that's one of the reasons why I just became one of the best closers. So yeah. Yes. Oh my God, yeah, so yeah, that's what I was doing before that, but life insurance kind of came a little bit afterwards.
Okay, so how do we get coined the ATL Hookah Queen?
So ATL Hookah Queen came about, me and my sister, we've been doing hookahs, well, we started out doing hookahs a while ago. We were in the business for about 10 years. We started with ATL Hookah. She actually founded it, and basically she landed this spot called Barnacles in Duluth, which is now, I think it's Dreams ATL. Shout out to them boys. But basically, shout out to Samson for putting us on too out there in Duluth. Anybody, y'all already know. And Pinups. A lot of people, a lot of pizza bar, but Samson and Duluth was the first one that put us on, so at Barnacles. But basically, my sister and I, we had over a 10-year run, over a decade, and people always, my nickname has always been Queen. So people would always be like, you know, my name is Quisha, so obviously, you know, you're gonna get Quisha, Keisha. I don't know how it's so hard to pronounce, especially if you black. Like, how do you not know? Everybody knows somebody named Quisha, Quee, or they've said Bone Quisha before, which is like unacceptable, but I accept it. Anywho, but people kept calling me Queen, and then they would be like ATL Hookah Queen, and so I was like, dang, I really like that. I embraced it. We were doing the hookahs. My sister was doing it for a while, and basically, she needed my help. She was going crazy, going dummy, selling about 40 to 50 hookahs a night by herself. If you do hookahs, you already know that's like a nightmare. You probably faint doing it by yourself. So I was doing the sales thing. My baby father had passed, and I was just kind of trying to, just wiggling my way, trying to figure out, you know, my next direction. And anyways, I came and did the hookahs with her. We lit it up. We started getting locations. We had about over 10 in our run, probably more than that. Some of it was off and on because, you know, being a female entrepreneur, guys always trying to bang instead of letting us do our thing, you feel me? So any hoots, people started calling me ATL Hookah Queen, and I just kind of ran with it, and I embraced it, and I love it because first my journey was like really rough. I was not really so into hookahs. I would be fainting. I would be like, not fainting, but I would be like damn near about to faint. And anyways, once it started to like really pop, I just embraced that name, and everybody just crowned me the queen of ATL hookah. So, and don't get it twisted, this is the queen too, like, you know what I'm saying? She founded it, so that's my sister, my little sister, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that's
period.
Good. Yeah. So you mentioned your baby father passing away. How long ago was that, and how did you deal with that? Because I'm sure that's a very traumatic experience, first off, and something very difficult to go through as well.
So my baby father, Jarvis McNabb, if y'all from Cobb County, SV Smyrnaville, we by way of that route too. Shout out to everybody in Cobb County. But he was, they called him the King of Cobb. He was J. Nabbs Jarvis, and he passed when my son was in kindergarten. That was over 10 years ago. That was about 10 years ago actually this year. And basically, he was shy. It was a lot more to it. He was just shot, and they took him to Kennestone. I ain't gonna tell y'all what they call Kennestone, but if something ever happens, you know, I don't want to talk down about any hospitals, but try to avoid going there if you can. But he passed on site. He was pronounced dead. And so any hoots, that was really, really hard for me. I kind of had to stop my entire life. I had to move to the hood. I moved to Bankhead over there by the Blue Flame. Mama stayed off Dogwood. My son used to be singing that when it came on. But anyways, I had to move out there and kind of be solo dolo for some time. And that's how I kind of found my way through ATL hookahs. But that was really rough. The father of my son, he didn't have life insurance. And it kind of left us high and dry, you know what I mean? And someone kind of told me about life insurance, my Uncle David actually, to be exact. Shout out Uncle David for introducing that to my life. Thank you. But he told me about it, and he said, hey man, you know, we don't want your son to go through what his dad went through. You know, if his dad had a policy in place when he was a child, he could have, you know, had cash value building up in that, and probably could have, you know, taken out some money. Y'all could have bought y'all first house, whatever the case may be. And, you know, it's just important to get multiple life insurance policies. So if you have a baby daddy, baby mama, no matter what you're going through, get y'all some life insurance, because I can assure you, like, that road, I'm still grinding to this day trying to figure it out. Just imagine what it would look like if, you know, your significant other or somebody else that passed, whether it even be your mom or grandparents, you know, a lot of people would be in place financially if they had a policy in place, just a minimum $100,000, you know. So if I get too caught up into how I felt, because I'm really a person that feels, it'll probably make me cry. But I honestly wasn't able to mourn it fully. I kind of was a zombie for a while. Like, I just went out and I kept going, kept working, kept doing sales. I Ubered a little bit, did the ATL hookahs thing, went back to sales back and forth, and it was really strenuous. So losing the father of my son, it kind of helped me realize the importance of, you know, kind of beefing with him. I see a lot of people, a lot of baby moms out here, oh, you know, you're not gonna see your kid anymore. You're not gonna do this, that, and the third if you don't do X, Y, Z. And it kind of takes away from your child's experience. It kind of hinders your child. It's not fair to them. So if I could say anything to the baby moms, baby dads out there, get it together, become a team for your child. You know, my son's name is Mars. One thing that we did before he passed was try to be Team Mars, you know what I mean? And so all I can say is just get it together. Be thankful that other one is alive. If they're trying to do something to help out your child, like trying to see their child, don't hinder them. And this is not my story where I hindered my baby's dad from seeing my son, but I'm elaborating a little long. I'm getting passionate, but I just want to encourage y'all to just be a team for the child. Like, don't you know, focus too deep on your own wants. Focus on the betterment of the child, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah.
No, that's great advice right there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So how do we end up becoming a recording artist? Like, when does music enter your life?
When did it begin? So it began ages ago. Okay, if you know me, you know that I've been doing this for a very long time, and it was kind of hard, definitely over a decade. Like, I'm really deep in the game with this. But it began when I was a child, when I was about 6 years old. I always used to like do talent shows during like Thanksgiving holidays and stuff like that. All of my family, we would kind of like kumbaya. When we first moved to Atlanta, I was born in Jacksonville. So when we first moved to Atlanta, we stayed in Wildwood off of Fairmont Road. Shout out, Westside. I went to LP Miles Elementary, and I would be throwing like these big bashes. I would get all the kids together and just ask all of the families to come around, see what we got going on. We'd be playing kickball. Some people would be out there cooking hot dogs and stuff. And I always just wanted to put on a show for people. It just was a passion, but it really came from seeing Michael Jackson. Like, when I was a kid, I thought I was Michael Jackson. So as you can see, I'm not like this, that, gonna make, that's Janet. But yeah, so anyway, it started as a child, and then let's see, 2020 is when I started to take it serious, because I was working for a group of guys selling leads to contractors. Shout out to Networks, because they definitely taught me how to close. Rest in peace, KT, rest in peace, Trey. But anywho, they taught me how to close, and long story short, let me get to the point. When everything kind of shut down, I was working on my project Pop Off, and people would always invite me out to places, and I'd be like, I just don't have that one. I wasn't really confident. I wasn't feeling anything, you know, as far as going on the stage. And so during the pandemic, I released my project. I kind of just tapped into myself. Then a couple of people in my family got sick from COVID, and it just taught me to kind of tap in and go within my roots. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to chase perfection. I think I was like at 6,000 followers. And I just got out there. I created this song called Heroic. Basically, it was a diss song for this guy that I was dating. And I just posted it on like around Thanksgiving time during the pandemic. And all my homegirls, my Baddie Baes, these girls are corporate girls, like lawyers, doctors, girls that's working 9 to 5s, real estate agents, you name it, beauticians, barbers, like all of my homegirls, they just knew the song. And so basically my homeboy Mike, who I used to do a lot of production with, we used to be up all night recording and stuff. But long story short, he was like, Quisha, I know you got something, bro. Like, they got this thing called Open Mic ATL, and these people, dog, they like, and I'm sorry, but this is what he said. He was like, they trash, man. I know you embody them, man. Like, they trash, man. Like, Quisha, come on, man. Bring that energy, man. I know you got one. What about that song you been posting on Instagram? Come perform that shit. So I was like, all right, I ain't want to do it. He's like, man, they got a prize of $1,000 and a trophy. $1,000. Give me that trophy. So anyways, pulled up there, and I literally missed my cousin's wedding. Sorry, Erica, love you. But I missed my cousin's wedding, and I killed that shit. I put on these Mickey Mouse ears. I just was dressed like a cyberpunk, baddie, futuristic bae, and I murdered it. And then I got entered into the finals, and then this other girl, shout out to Kirsten, she was like, yo, she met me through this guy I was dating. And she was like, yo, this song is hard as hell. Like, Heroic is hard. Women are gonna love this. She was promoting it, what's the spot? Azul. And Azul was going up. If you was in Azul during the pandemic, yo, we got a section up in there, and when I tell y'all, they played my song, and all my girls was like, back up, give me space, back up, give me space. Yeah, and it was, it just went up. And so after that, I was like, oh my God, I felt it. And I just started performing my ass off, like everywhere, any type of venue that would have me. I just started killing it, and I ended up winning first place Open Mic ATL. They split the 1,000 with me from some guy, but I wasn't tripping off that. I got a trophy. I ain't really getting many trophies coming up. So yeah, it was an experience. So so as far as the music, you can say you taking the music serious, but until you live, sleep, eat, breathe it, you know what I'm saying? Until you're doing it every single day, you ain't really serious. It's a hobby. And so I used to really feel funny about that, like, oh, come on, do a show. Oh man, like I'm passionate, but it's feeling hobby. It's just giving hobby. And so after that, I just lit the streets of Atlanta up, and anywhere where they would have me, I just performed my one song, Heroic, nothing else, period.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of you perform, and talk about the energy you bring to your shows.
Big
energy.
Hold on. So basically with the energy, right? I try to tap into my frequency, and I want people to feel me. I literally want them to be able to feel everything it is that I'm saying in my veins. Like, and so it's really about me just envisioning being like out on a huge stage. I always envision myself like Madison Square Garden, big festival vibes. And so it was kind of like one of those things where I'm like, if I'm gonna perform, I have to give this all I got. You know, I grew up watching real performers, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, you know, Michael Jackson. So when I see a lot of girls performing, no shade or whatever, it's like, we could twerk, you know what I'm saying? But what else can we do? You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the things that I just feel like I'm gonna bring to the table every single time, just that energy. So I'm just trying to, normally when I'm on the stage, I'm manifesting millions. I'm like literally seeing people watching me through a TV screen. I'm like at my Grammy performance. I'm like over here envisioning myself with a Jay-Z and Beyonce feature or something like that. I'm envisioning myself with Drake, with Kendrick Lamar, all those people, you know, with the greats. So that's the reason why I go so hard when I'm performing.
No, it's like a lost art these days. You go to so many shows and rapper just standing there with the mic, just saying half the words, if that, you know, rapping over his own vocals and stuff. So I applaud you for, you know, putting some energy into a real performance.
I appreciate that, and it's something that I feel like is very, very far and in between, but it's something that I know that makes me stand out. I'm dead serious about it. Before any performance, I'm lighting up, you know, inside of my mirror in the bathroom. I don't care if I perform it 100 times, you know. The story only gets old to the storyteller. There's somebody out there that I'm gonna connect with that hasn't seen me, and the minute I lock eyes with you and I see that you in, I know. Huh, come here. That's that back B Mortal Kombat energy. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's my take on performing.
Gotcha. Can you speak about your fashion sense? Because it's very unique, to say the least. Like, who's your inspiration? Have you always been into fashion? Have you always been into dressing different?
Yeah, I mean, I've always, like I said, I grew up watching Michael Jackson, and you talking about people fainting in the crowd. You very rarely see that nowadays, and so anywhere that I go, my wardrobe has to reflect my mood. So however I'm feeling, if I'm looking like this, I'm feeling pretty freaking spunky. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like I'm about to pop off like boing. That's how I always want the energy I want to portray. But watching things like the Spice Girls, Missy Elliott, growing up watching all the weirdos, you know, Missy, I keep saying her name, but those are kind of like some of my fashion influences. I can go on and on and on and probably give you way more, but realistically, I was the weirdo kid, you know, going to high school. I don't know if y'all remember Gazoo, some of y'all may or may not, but I had on like leopard pants, sequins pants, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things where I always stood out. So I was never afraid to be different. Like, you know, I love that I inspire your desire to be different, because everybody look the same to me, to be honest. So for me, I just want to stand out amongst the clones.
No, it's definitely working, that's for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so I got to ask you about the parentheses around your name. What does that stand for?
So the parentheses around my name, coming from, you know, being born in Jacksonville, right? You got a lot of Quishas. Like in my elementary school, I grew up with Von Quisha, Shorika. I remember this girl, Edashika, or something like that. And so with my name being Quisha, it's kind of like some of the black girls, like we have to realize that we had to find ourselves. Our parents had to find themselves, you know, so we weren't able to just, you know, a name like Kathy, that's cool, a name like Ashley, that's cool, but that's not from us, you know what I mean? We had to invent our own thing. And so people used to pick on me about my name. They called it ghetto, bon qui. I'll see things like, you know, people, if somebody stole something, somebody acting a certain type of way, they'll be like, well, oh, that's a qui move, or a bon Quisha did that, or a Quisha did it. And so one day, my parents sat me down, they were like, hey, you know, just want to let you know that you got to think of qui. You know, that's like giving queen. And they nicknamed me that at a very tender age. I was probably about 5, and so they were like, whenever you think about Quisha, you need to understand that that means queen. That's the reason we gave you that name. So, and it means black queen. And so they made they made it up. But at the end of the day, we had to make up our names, you know what I mean? So to all the girls with the special names out there, I love the fact that it's people like Fantasia, Beyonce, those types of names, because it gives us hope to let people know that you don't have to have a name like Dorothy, or that's like a Poindexter name, but a name like Ashley to pop off, you know what I mean, or Taylor. You can actually be yourself and make it mean something. So the parentheses around my name is just to protect that. It's my frequency. Not only is my name Quisha, it's a vibration. And I believe that I embody the essence of who I am. So when you see a Quisha or you thinking about that name, I want people to be like, oh, and the little girls that have names close to mine, oh, that's Quisha. You know, I can be like that, or I can be special. I can still sell life insurance. I can be a professional, you know, and still have this type of name. Oftentimes, you go to a job interview or something like that, and people will look over you because your name is Quisha. They're going to pick the Ashley. They're going to pick the Jennifers because, or the Stephanies, because of the fact that they have an ordinary name. And a lot of people in my community, they will name their child a name that's simple so that their child can get a job. But you know what my mama told us? My mama was like, you know what? You wasn't created to get a job. You were created to stay up to have your own lane. So the parentheses just it represents my frequency, and it represents who I am as a Black queen. So yeah.
I like that.
Long-winded.
No, that's dope right there.
Yeah. You gotta know.
All right, so we got the new single Moshpit going crazy right now. First off, just speak on the inspiration for this song when you recorded this.
So the inspiration behind Moshpit. So I basically had came back from shooting my video with Timothy Lynn. Shout out to him because I won the video during that open mic ATL2, and we embarked on the craziest relationship, and he is just going crazy. But I had just finished my self-love video shoot, and by the time it was over with, I had on like this Chun-Li outfit, these two puffs with this freaking Chun-Li outfit. Shout out to Missy, to Rissy Glitzy Spider, because she made it. But I had on this outfit and I realized, oh shoot, it's dinner time and I got to snap into mommy mode. So I'm like, dang, I was supposed to go grocery shopping today. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't go home and change. So I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to go to Kroger. And I go to Kroger in my outfit. I'm looking cute. I put my headphones on, and that's the only way I can really shop. I'm listening to LeChat. Don't ask me why. I'm listening to LeChat. And this lady, I'm gonna call her a Karen because it's a misconception about like all white people are not this way, but there are some people that just like are irking to my soul. So the lady's like looking at me, she's following me around the store. So I'm just like, okay. Then she asked me, did I need any help? What's going on? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, I'm good. So you know, like when you do the self-checkout, it's like, you did not, what is it? Please scan item. Please rescan the item. From the bag. Oh yeah, remove item from the bag. So she's like, hey, you have too many items in your bag. This lady does not work in Kroger, just doing the most. I'm like, man, like, what are you doing? Like, she just kept on aggravating me. And so for some reason, my song ended up stopping. And you know, like how if you have I think I had some instrumentals playing at the same time. And for some reason, LeChat stopped playing, and then the mosh pit be played, dun, 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 dun. So I'm like, and I'm looking at her, so I'm like, ma'am, what are you saying? I'm just saying this, so this guy comes in, scoots her over, ma'am, we got it, she's good. Well, I said, count everything in the bag. Then here, have a look at my bank account. I can afford to get these groceries. Like, I don't know what you got going on. Well, it's just the way you're dressed, there are kids around. I'm like, ma'am, nobody's hurting from this. Like, no, I look like an anime character for all they know. They love this, you know, this is nothing. So anywho, I get my groceries, I get into the car, the beat comes on, and I had been saying, drop some bands on, it's time to switch. I've been dodging shit in this matrix, watch me glitch. And I had been saying that because I was getting ready to swap out cars, my coupe, to my SUV, my little Beamer truck. And so that beat came on, and what was flowing out of my mouth, I really couldn't control it. I had to get home. I barely even got all my groceries in. So I literally left the groceries downstairs, ran up to my loft. I put the beat on, and then I noticed that there's this, how you say the tequila, Clase Azul? So I see that my outfit is matching the bottle, and I just turned on TikTok, I turned on my other thing, and I just started freestyling, and what started coming out of my mouth, I couldn't believe it. So I took like all the best takes, and I was like, this is a song. Thank you, lady. Like, Karen, you was caring so hard that you manifested a monster out of this. So that was the inspiration behind that. And also, I kind of had a situation going on where people were just trying to stop me. So that's why I'm like thinking about her, thinking about it. That's why I'm like, you can't stop. And I'm thinking like, it's just rage. It's just about getting women who feeling a certain way. Like, this is not the time to be singing and being depressed and nothing like that. It's a time to have fun and move anybody the hell out of the way that's in your way. So that's how I came up with Moshpit.
Yeah.
Before I beat you with it. No. Yeah.
Is that your usual creative process, to where you kind of just punch in, go in off the top like that, or do you normally write, or?
So I used to write, but then my friend, I used to back in the day be in College Park with Ninth Inning Records. Shout out T, shout out the Hot Boy Trap Boys and Rock DeCarlo, Young Rock. But he taught me that Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, they don't really write. And so he was like, you just gotta remember it, man. You just gotta keep trying to remember it. And so pretty much that's my process. Like, I'll get in the whip, listen to a beat, and whatever is flowing out of my mouth, I just kind of catch the Holy Ghost. And I can't control it. I don't know how I come up with it. It's just my thoughts running amok. And I just pretty much let the words flow. I'll have another iPhone, I'll record that, or I'll do a video. And then I just kind of remember certain words, and then I'll like write it out. So that's my process on 85% of the music that I make. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the From the Block performance for Moshpit just dropped today. We were talking off camera. I was like, I loved how you brought so much energy to this.
Oh my God. That was really wild because it was my birthday the night before, so everybody was like super hungover. We were supposed to have like so many people there, and it was one of those things where it was so hot outside. My sister was about to faint. Every time I watch it, I'd be crying, laughing. But as far as the energy is concerned, all I knew is that I had 2 takes. And I just wanted to bring the experience that, I call it the Quisha experience, that I pretty much have at my shows. And at my shows, I got people holding up signs, like little fans of my head or whatever. Everybody's kind of dressed up like this somewhat. And so I was like, you know what, let's just bring the Quisha energy. Everybody pretty much knew the song. Some of those people performed with me. Some of those people were artists. And so we just killed it. We just rocked it out, pretty much. Ooh, we had a time at the shooting.
Yeah, it looked like you guys had a lot of fun doing this.
Oh my God, we did. And I even saw one of the guys filming. He was like recording from his phone. So I was like, oh, we must have lit it up, because he was like recording from his. He's like, who the hell is this girl with this? They asked me, they were like, are you a character? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, what character is this? I'm like, I'm me. I'm being myself, but basically got some of my gear from Ritzy Glitzy Spider once again. She came up with the little spiky spider, the Ritzy Glitzy Spider neck piece. And pretty much I just wanted to give like a Jetson meets Flintstone vibe, but with a Quisha spin on it, and we just lit that shit up. So yeah.
That's dope right there. What's your thoughts on the women rappers right now and how you guys are taking over the game?
I mean, I'm supporting everything female. I love where we are, because once upon a time it was very scarce. You were kind of looking like, people were like, oh, it's expensive to have a female, hair, makeup, blah, blah, blah. And I can tell you as an indie artist, it is expensive. Every time I'm going to do something, I don't care if I'm just making an appearance somewhere, it can get a little bit hefty. But for the most part, I love where we are. I feel like we should be able to express ourselves. We're getting a lot of kickback for the fact that a lot of women are expressing what they're going through. And to me, it's like it's realistic. Some women, they might go through a breakup. Some women like to talk about twerking. Some women like to talk about tricking. Some women like to talk about their sexual experiences. Whatever it may be, I feel like guys have dominated for the longest. We had to listen to the trap, and we had to listen to the kill 'em bang bang, and oh, I got 32 bitches and all of this stuff, and it was just kind of like one of those things where it's like, what gives anybody the right to silence us? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you have a choice. You can turn it on or turn it off. If you don't want your daughter listening to it, guess what you can do? You can turn it off, because for years, our sons had to listen to the trap, and our sons had to listen to dogging out women and misogynistic music. And don't get me wrong, I come from the trap era. I come from crunk. I come from all of that. So I just love music. I love what makes me feel good. I don't really have a favorite female rapper. I don't have a favorite of anything, not a favorite color, not a favorite food. Like, I just love what makes me feel good. And so where we are as far as females, I feel like the portal is open. This is to be able to express ourselves, to make it out of adversity, and I feel like the floodgates are open, and I'm about to bust through that mother. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always kicking. If you ever see me on stage, that's why I'm kicking, because I'm opening up a new portal, and I'm like, let me in, and now that I'm here, okay, yeah. Yeah. So that's my take on female rap.
Gotcha. So should fans expect a new album from you soon, or are you kind of just focusing on Moshpit and some other singles at this point?
So it's kind of like a tug of war with that. Oftentimes, you know, people want to tell you need to just drop numerous singles. People tell you need to put out an album. So I kind of find it hard to find myself in that. So right now I'm pushing Heroic and Moshpit. I'm on like festival music vibes, stuff that can really get the crowd going. But I have a lot of conscious music. I have 2 albums out already. I have a Pop Off that's more like a fun party vibe, and then I have Sage the World that I created in 2020. That kind of reflected the times, what we were going through as far as the cops killing us, as far as like the water boys in Atlanta, you know, people dogging them, giving them a bad name instead of, I mean, it did kind of get bad, but I'm the one in the beginning. I was here when little boys would be, you know, asking for change for, you know, they want a football team and stuff like that. And so I'm just like, man, these kids could be out here shooting people up, killing people, but they selling water. So just give them a chance. And if you can get a hold of one of them, why don't you say, hey, little bro, pull over to the side, man. Let me talk to you a minute about XYZ. You did that all wrong, whatever. I mean, granted, some of the water boys snatch purses, they do certain things, but the ones that I know that are genuinely just trying to make an income, I reflected the times with that. So what you can expect from Quisha is for me to basically go hard, you know, with the music that I've got. But once you tap into me, you will see the depth of me that is so much more than just a girl that's trying to kick and scream and have her way. I'm telling my story and the story of so many other women that look just like me, of the ordinary girl. I don't ever want to talk about broke bitches and, you know, how much I'm better than people and how much ice I got and stuff like that. If that's your story, that's cool, but I'm just saying with mine, for my narrative, I want to be on empowerment. So you can expect a lot of festival vibes. You can expect my Mosh Pit video that's going to be dropping on Halloween, and we going crazy. If you know me or don't know me, you need to pull up to that, because if you've seen my videos, you need to go on YouTube right now if you haven't. I pretty much creatively direct all my videos with Timothy Lynch and Raw Country, and pretty much this one is going to be a different vibe. So you can be expecting that to come up next, and just to hear so much more about me. I'm busting that portal wide open. I'm here.
There it is.
Yeah.
What's some goals you got set for yourself, whether it's short term or long term?
So short-term goals, and it seems like a long-term goal, but one of my short-term goals is to be like the 411 pain of life insurance. I don't think there's anybody like me. You know, you see a lot of girls come out and they have their stories, but my story is exactly what I told you, you know, the sales girl, the single mom out here trying to make it, struggling, living in the hood, and basically just telling my story. And I just decided to stop chasing perfection, pursue a career in life insurance after everything kind of died down with the hookahs or whatnot. And short-term goals, let's get to it. So to be the 411 pain of life insurance, billboards, I have a jingle, pretty much just promotion everywhere in the city, and then we're gonna go nationwide with it. That's one of them. The second is we're rebranding ATL Hookahs, so we'll have hookahs for sale coming up soon in the winter. Different flavors, different hookahs, stuff like that, so you can expect that from us. And one of my short-term goals is to just build my fan base, to really connect with people, and especially women that are going through certain things, women that may feel like, girl, you don't gotta feel like a bum because you're going through it. Let me tell you something. A bum is a person that just sit on their ass every single day and watch their life go by, and they just continue to have a pity party, you know what I mean? But that could be depression also, and I've been through that. So I just wanna encourage women that listen to my music, you know, as far as my short-term goals, that there is hope. You have to have a mindset to win, and I want to be able to have girls or women and men too, to basically look at my story and decide to make a change for the better for themselves. So those are 3 short-term goals. I hope I covered it. So yeah.
Now you're good.
Yeah.
All right.
One last thing I do want to
Go
say,
ahead.
because we were talking about female rap. A lot of times when you go out to a certain atmosphere, like, you gotta realize women we dominating right now, and if you don't like it, you just gotta get with it. If you are a rapper or you have a team and you don't have a female, you're thinking wrong. You need to have multiple females. Like, they pin us against each other and try to make us be you know, very competitive. However, I get a lot of embrace, and I embrace a lot of women. I really very rarely see any women hating. It's kind of strange that people say, oh, my haters. I never really address that because there's so much love out here. And one of the things that I want to say with female rap is that we're all coming together. You know what I mean? You have a little sprinkle, dinkle that kind of, they may, you know, they may kind of not stick together, but that's not in my narrative. That's not a picture I'm trying to paint. But one of the things I want to say is I want to talk about playing female rap. You go to a club, it's really stiff in the club. You got a lot of beautiful women. In Atlanta especially, the men are outnumbered by the women. So it's like, Why are you playing Kill 'Em Bang Bang? Why are you playing trap music? Why are you playing all of this stuff instead of the music that's dominating, instead of the stuff that you see on your phone every single day? If you want your club to go up, I challenge you DJs to play female rap, also book female DJs, because they know the vibe to assess. And basically, I would challenge you, play all of that shoot 'em bang bang stuff that you're playing. And the minute that you turn on Cardi, the minute you turn on Megan, the minute you turn on Glorilla, your whole entire club is going to quake. The minute you turn on Sexy Red, your whole entire club is going to quake. Not saying that they're not playing those girls, but when I go places in Atlanta, unless it's like an appearance, they're probably playing about maybe 10 female rap songs, and the whole entire time, it feels like a sausage party in my ears. Like, I can't say pause because I'm a female, but I just want to say play female rap. I challenge you. Play female rap challenge. Play your trap music, play your men's songs, okay? Play those and watch us, girl. We're gonna smoke our hookah. We're gonna take our pictures. We're gonna twerk a little bit. But the minute that you play that female rap, your club is gonna be an earthquake in there. I challenge you to do it, and you're gonna see that if your parties are boring, it's because you're not playing enough female rap. All right, okay. Wish I had a fan right now.
All right, you got any shout outs you'd like to give before you wrap it up here, Quisha?
I want to give a shout out to Jay Wise and the Playlist Academy. One of the things I didn't really speak about was how I was doing the hookahs at Bonfire last year, but then I ended up having to go on tour with Scotty ATL and the Playlist Academy, and basically kind of had to put that on pause for a minute while we were doing that. And shout out to Bonfire for saying, yo, you the hookah queen, but you ain't doing hookahs, you need to get up in here. Shout out Terry, shout out Adrian. But basically, Playlist Academy is like an artist development type of wave, and so it teaches you how to basically become a better artist. And so long story short, got in with that. Within like 2 months, I was on tour. They teach you about selling tickets. A lot of times people be having 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, but can't even sell 100 tickets. So the Playlist Academy, I just want to shout you out. I want to shout out Jay Wise. I want to shout out Jimmy for the opportunity. Shout out Stankonia Big Boy. Shout out Renegade, because of the simple fact that they allow us artists in the city. I don't think there's anything that's like this. There are some that kind of act like they're like this, but they don't go through the steps that we go through. We literally went through Ticketmaster and sold out 1,000 tickets. At Center Stage at the big one, and there are a lot of artists that we found out that were right up under us that couldn't even sell it out, not even half. So I just want to say shout out to Jay Wise and the Playlist Academy, shout out to Jimmy, shout out to Flippin' Love, shout out to everybody that pulls up on me religiously, to all the people in sales, all my Baddie Baes, all my bad boys, to the people that believe in me. Shout out to Mike Pix ATL for being my photographer, for telling me to come out, Open Mic ATL for giving me a chance, Take Off ATL for having a platform for artists. Like, it's so many I could really go on, the list goes on. I know I have a lot more interviews and opportunities to shout people out, but those are some of the people, Rissy Glitzy Spider, and Kennedy Creates. Those are some of the people that I really just want to say thank you to, because without y'all, there is no me. And I want to shout out Leslie for being my coach in the Playlist Academy, for basically, telling me a lot of times, y'all artists, y'all be holding the microphone, and when you be performing, you performing like this. And she was like, yeah, you hard, but like, can you bring it down a notch? And she basically taught me how to use my voice, how to rap over the beat instead of rapping over my voice. So I just want to say, Playlist Academy, thank you, because you helped to put the icing on this cake. You put the cherry on top. So I just want to say shout out to all of those people, and shout out to my city. Get behind your city. It's a movement going on, and they're trying to make it seem like Atlanta don't have the wave, but I'm here to tell you right now, ATL Hookah Queen is here. I'm kicking in that portal, baby, and I ain't going nowhere. So yeah, shout out to my city.
Bands on it, time to switch, I been dodging fuck shit in this matrix, watch me